This is the Our Voice 360 podcast, our perspectives, our way, keeping you in the know while you're on the go. This podcast was created with you in mind. On Our Voice 360, we'll give you inspiration, sports, business and leadership tips, Black history, and entertainment. This is a show built from our perspectives. So if you're ready to be entertained, inspired, laugh a little, be informed, and enlightened, tune in now to Our Voice 360. Let's go! Everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Our Voice 360, our perspectives, our ways. I'm your man, Chad Bumgarner, and I have with me my man, Pete Hunt.
What's good, family?
All right, with that, Pete, let's go ahead and get into it, man. We got a lot to talk about.
I know, right? As always, our show is brought to you by Elect Graphics and Photography. Allow your visions to become reality. And CDB Consulting. Great leadership equals great results. How are you leading?
And as always, folks, if there's something you want to hear on the show or there's some information you want to give us about the show to help make us better or whatever the case is, feel free to email us at ourvoice360@gmail.com. That's ourvoice360@gmail.com. All right. Pete, I feel like I said it off air. I feel like what we're doing is it's a broken record every week. It's a broken record, folks. The topic today that we're diving into, and we're really kind of tired of it. We're exhausted.
So tired.
This police brutality with the Black community, specifically with the unarmed Black folks. It's too much. It's been too much, and I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but for some reason, when police see a Black person, they automatically think threat.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the only conclusion I can come up with. Because if you look at many, many instances on both sides of the table, how is it? We're just going to go ahead and get into it, Pete. How is it that police can confront our white counterparts, whether it be man or woman,
mm-hmm.
and they have a loaded weapon on them, a
mm-hmm.
knife,
mm-hmm.
Machete or whatever,
mm-hmm.
and they confront the police,
mm-hmm.
and they have altercations with the police, and sometimes the police get their ass whooped.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes the police whoop they behind,
or they run,
or
the police run,
then sometimes the perpetrator of the fair complexion, sometimes they're able to get away and they're caught later. Sometimes the police are able to ascertain them and bring them in. Either way you look at it, they end up alive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, on the flip side, when cops are dealing with people of our hue and darker, for some reason, they don't know how to ascertain us and bring us in alive, or allow us to, not even allow us, but if we try to get away, that they will ascertain us later. It's if you leave, if you run away,
you shot.
all bets are off. I'm popping you, whether it's in your back 7 times, or whether it's in the back of your head 1 time, execution style. My understanding, Pete, is that when you are fleeing, that you are no longer considered a threat, especially if you have nothing in your hands.
Yeah. I mean,
to murder someone,
mm-hmm.
because if someone's running away and you shoot them in the back of the head, to me that's a murder.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have all of this body to hit. First of all, my understanding is you shouldn't shoot anybody in the back because they're fleeing. But let's say, for instance, you had to. You got shoulders, you got legs, you got all this to shoot. You can shoot them in the butt. But you chose to shoot them in the back of the head, execution style. Now, of course, I'm talking about one of the more recent events. But there are so many right now That is to the point to where when we have conversations that we're talking about, okay, which incident are you talking about? Which one are you talking about? You talking about the one in DC? You talking about the one in Elizabeth City? And that should never be it. I feel like they're trying to normalize this, and we cannot allow this to be normal and for it not to sting. Because when we allow it to be normalized, now killing a black person, nobody will even bat an eye.
Chad has been normalized.
Because I still hurt.
No. I'm talking about for the general population.
Mm-hmm.
It's never going to be normal for us as a black people and as a black community. It's never going to be normal for us. But as far as the general population outside of people of black people, it's normalized. I mean, you have people in our society that's like, the first thing they say is not why did the police shoot this person? Well, what did they do?
Right.
They had to do something for the police, because that's how the police are looked in other communities. Police are looked as the guys and women that protect and serve in other communities. That's not how it goes in the black community. They are for us and in our community, they are terrorizers. And that's if you ask any black person, that's how probably 8 to 9 times out of 10, that's what they're going to say. We don't view police as people that protect and serve our community. And it's been like that for a long time. I mean, and I always bring up the point of 1619 and slavery, but that's where that mindset comes from.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's never stopped. Black people have always been the threat. Even though we built this country, everything in this country that has any type of flavor is is stolen from us, whether it's music, sports, entertainment, whatever the case may be.
Food,
slang, verbiage, it's all stolen from us. We can, but we are not respected as such. You see what I'm saying? We're not respected as a people. Again, we were 3/5 of a person when the Constitution was being written. We were considered 3/5 of a person.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, this has started ever since, you know, our ancestors touched their toes on this continent. It's always been like this.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as bringing it back to 2021, police don't treat black folk as human. We're not human to police officers.
Right.
We're not human to the justice system. That's why you can get away with the thing that you can as a police officer when it comes to black folk. You can kill some. They have killed so many unarmed black people and gotten away with it for so long. They expect to be found not guilty. Let's talk about the recent Derek Chauvin trial, which shocked that they found him guilty. I'm extremely shocked. But if you look at his face when they are reading the verdict, the shock and dismay that he had on his face is like, hold on, but I'm white.
Right. Where's my entitlement card?
I'm white and the police. What do you mean guilty?
Right.
On all
I'm being
counts.
punked, right?
Yeah, y'all playing, right? What do you mean? Yeah. If you look at the look on his face and his expressions, he was totally shocked that he was found guilty of anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because police have gotten away with killing black people for so long. Look, I know I'm going to get acquitted. Or I know it's going to be a hung jury. I know one of them people going to be my friend and say, you know what? I don't think he was trying to kill him. But we got one. And black folk, please don't celebrate. This is nothing to celebrate about. Him being found guilty is nothing to celebrate. There's nothing to celebrate. I mean, because guess what? Not even 45 minutes later, while the verdict was being read, they killed a sister in Ohio. And you can say whatever about the story. She was gonna stab somebody. Okay, that grown woman and them girls shouldn't have came to her house to jump her.
Well, see, and the thing with that is the foster mom. Why did she let them grown girls come to the house?
Exactly, but that's not what we're talking about. But I mean, I just want to. Yeah,
Okay,
I just want. No, I just want. No, I know. Not no disrespect to you, Chad.
No.
But I'm saying, even in that situation, if you look at the video, the officer he could have done anything else other than shoot her.
Why didn't he go taser first?
Why even taser? I mean, what? I mean, that's still a form of. I mean, it's not gonna kill you, but it's still some type of, animal,
the only reason why I say that, Pete,
punishment.
is because looking from his body cam, when soon as he pulled up and came out, she was already in the process about to jab the young lady with the knife. So I'm like, a taser probably would have at least stopped her in her tracks. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So the lady wouldn't take that knife wound. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, and I see what
But
you're saying.
Let's go back before that. All them adults out there, and they couldn't stop that.
Exactly.
And then if you notice, I'm going off on tangent. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But back to these police officers. I mean, and if you look at the situation in Elizabeth City, up here in North Carolina, Andrew Brown Jr. That's the brother's name. May he rest in power. It was the same situation, and now they're trying to cover it up. They're basically covering up what happened, because the video is bad. First of all, they said what's being said is they pulled up, first of all, military style. If you've seen the video, they pull up in this truck with about 6-7 guys on the back, full SWAT team gear
to serve a warrant.
To serve a warrant? Really? That's what we doing. Okay. And then they said they started shooting 4 seconds. Within 4 seconds of pulling up, they started shooting. So from what is being said, he's backing out of the car, backing out of the driveway or wherever it was to flee from getting shot. Shoot him in the back of the head. I think he ran into a tree or he ran into something, and they were still shooting. So again, they won't release the videotape to the public. They won't release any of the body cam to the public. Problem number one. You know it's bad when they put 7 officers on desk duty and 3 basically quit after it was revealed what happened. So you got 10 people that 7 which were put on desk duty and 3 that basically quit. What did you do? What happened? And now, like I said, the judge down there is saying that, all the body cam footage is not going to be given to the public. And still, the family is going to see only bits and pieces that the police want them to see. And they won't know the name of the officers. And the officers' faces will be blurred out in the footage that they show the family. So what are you showing me?
Right.
So what are you actually showing me? But that's how the police work when it comes to black folk. That's how it works when it comes to black folk.
I feel like the federal government need to step in on this case.
Exactly.
You cannot sit here and redact certain parts of a film or footage and then try to show the family like, okay, this is how it went down. No. No. You have to show it in its totality.
Yeah.
I like when Shannon Sharp said that. You have to show it in its totality.
Yeah, exactly. So it's mind-boggling to me that some people are seeing what it is, but it's still a lot of people that don't see this and or refuse to see it, I should say. Black folk and the police, we have never had a good relationship. It's never been good.
Because the police, just like this country, was founded on a negative action. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
The United States was founded on chattel slavery. Let's be specific. That's what we were founded on.
Mm-hmm.
Chattel slavery.
Yep.
Okay? The police department was founded on slave patrol.
Yep.
So when you have that mindset,
Mm-hmm.
when you're building a country, hey, let's go get free labor, treat them like the animals that we think they are,
Mm-hmm.
and make them do what we need them to do so we can make money. Okay, look, we need an organization that will go catch our free labor when they run off, because that's costing us money when we lose slaves. I can't even say employees because they wouldn't even pay. When we lose the slaves, we losing money because they keep running off. So we need an organization that will round them up and bring them back. So now you got an organization that don't care nothing about these people that they catching. Mm-hmm. They're looking at them as mere property. And do you know what kind of mindset that you have to look at a human as less than a human to do the things that they did to us?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's what the police department as we know it today is founded on. And until we face that truth and revamp the police department, then we can probably start to see some change. Just like with this country, until we face that horrible truth that even though this country is great to a certain extent, we do have a huge and major flaw or sin that we have to atone for. Right. We cannot move forward and continue to be successful until we acknowledge and atone for this sin. You are not going to abuse and use and murder and mutilate and manipulate and all kind of negative stuff to a people for over 400 years and think that you can just smooth that over with another couple hundred years of prosperity and bliss and think that it's going to be all right. It's not going to happen.
Because Chad, at some point, that people, they're going to rise up against you. They're going to rise up against you, and I think that's what we're seeing right now. Mm-hmm. I think we're seeing a black community and a black people that's like, okay, we done, yo, we done, and what you're not going to do, you're not going to continue to kill us at will. You're not going to continue to, like you said, brutalize us as a people. We're tired, man. And those days are over. Y'all got to stop this. And again, the question is, what do we do with this police? What do we do? Because Derek Chauvin, okay, but there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cases where police have killed black folk unjustly and have gotten away with it. There's something that you have to you owe us as a people. Mm-hmm. You owe us. And the first thing that needs to happen is they need to take some of this money from these police departments, or defund the police. You have to start taking money from or better yet, if they do kill someone, hit their pensions. The first thing you do is hit their pensions and then take their license as a police officer.
Yep.
You would do that in any other job. If somebody would mess up this bad, would kill somebody, you would take their license.
That is so true, Pete. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because that is so crazy. I mean, I can get fired from one job and I can apply for another job somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And they will have to call my job to verify employment. Mm-hmm. But my old job can't say why they fired me. They can only say Chad worked here from this month and year to this month and year. Mm-hmm. That's all they can say. Mm-hmm. But for some reason with this police job, I can get fired today and go into another county or another state and get hired, and
the very next day.
Yeah, like ain't nothing happened.
Like ain't nothing happened. Like you just didn't shoot somebody in their head.
Right.
Just like you just, and that's how it goes. The police are so protected. They are so protected that, in their mind, they can do anything they want to.
Well, let me say this.
Especially with qualified immunity.
Let me say this. The white police officers are protected. Because now there was a black cop that killed a white lady because he feared for his life. That's what he testified to. And that story came and went in 1 week. You heard nothing else about it. He was judged, sentenced, sent to jail all in 1 week.
He in jail right now.
Right. And where's Blue Lives Matter? Where is the what's the people for the police? Not internal affairs. The union, police union.
Yeah.
Where were they?
They had the FOP, the Fraternal Order of Police.
Yeah, where were they to defend this cop who is a brother?
Didn't fit the description, dog.
He's a boy in blue.
No. He don't have the protection for the complexion for the protection, dog. He don't. And see, and that's what's even more crazy to me. And I mean, and if you want to be a police officer, that's your business. You do what you want to do. That's your thing. Cause I have many police officers and family members in my family. But my thing is why? Why? Why would you join an organization that brutalizes your people? Why would you join an organization that can kill your people without any
no recourse?
No consequences. None of that.
It's just like shooting a dog in the street.
Yeah. No, the dog would. No, you going to jail for shooting.
Oh,
a dog.
well, yeah, that's Pete. Yeah,
you're going to jail for shooting a dog.
Yeah.
But yeah, and my thing is this, and I've seen many of these tapes and videos and things of black officers standing there while white officers brutalize our people, and you just standing there chilling, just like, okay. It reminds me of Boys in the Hood, the scene in Boys in the Hood. When Trey and the black officer have their little skirmish, and what the black officer said to Trey in front of the white cop, showing out what Ice Cube say, black police showing out for the white cop. I mean, and it's true. And I hate to say that, but and not saying that every police officer is bad, but if you stand there, if you allow your fellow officers to brutalize a people, and you just as bad as they are.
Do you know that black cops just recently got the ability to arrest white folks? I know here for a fact in Atlanta that when they first got black police officers, they were not allowed to arrest white cops. I mean, white people.
White people, exactly.
At all.
At all. You're exactly right, sir. So that further lets you know how the system is and how it's rigged against our people. And it's sad because, Chad, we've been talking about this for what, over a month. Every week that we're on this podcast, it's the same thing. And I'm not sure if our listeners and viewers are tired of hearing it, but we tired of talking about it.
We really are.
We tired of talking about it because it's crazy that our people can be just disrespected by the people, quote unquote, that's here to protect and serve, that we pay their salaries.
We pay their salary, yeah. And did you hear, changing gears for a quick second, the governor in Florida, did you hear the policies that he's trying to put in place where if you're protesting and you're in the street, if you get hit by a car or whatever, they will not be liable.
Exactly. So, I mean, the system is rigged. It's always been rigged against our people. But with this police brutality and these police killings, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, and a little thing, the cell phone has really changed the game. I mean, if there wasn't cell phone, Derek Chauvin would be walking his beat today.
Yeah, this wouldn't even be an issue.
Yeah, he's walking his beat today. Because if you realize, the first statement the Minnesota Police Department said was they had a death due to a medical issue with the person they were arresting. That was their first statement. So they were covering it up from the jump. And then we see the cell phone footage, and okay, game changer. But again, back to what are we going to do with this? How do we rectify this situation? For me, it has to be you have to defund these police officers, or you abolish it and start from ground zero.
Well, I tell you what, that to me, that's never gonna happen.
No, that's never.
I think the first thing you mentioned about defunding, I agree with that. And what I mean by defunding is demilitarize the police. There's no way in the world they need tanks and they need bazookas and they need all this military equipment. How can you ask the police? No, how can the police, ask the community to trust them and try to form a relationship when you come into the neighborhood looking like you about to hit up Beirut?
That is so funny that you said that. They had an article up here in North Carolina, a city right outside of Charlotte, Concord.
Mm-hmm.
They just bought a militarized vehicle in Concord. Concord probably has a population of 50 people. Now I'm exaggerating. I'm exaggerating.
It's small though, yeah.
I'm exaggerating, but yeah, it's that small. But Concord has a militarized tank-like vehicle now.
For what?
For what? Y'all have a race car track and a mall. That's it. What are we doing with militarized tank-style vehicles? It's unbelievable the amount of money that's given to law enforcement.
But here's the deal though. It doesn't have to be a bad thing when you take the time to put a panel together to use the money right. And when I say panel, I'm talking about the police, I'm talking about city council, and I'm talking about the people, the average people that live in that city.
Mm-hmm.
So we can all sit down at the table and say, what do we need? How can we use this money? Because a bulk of that money, to me, can go to psychiatric help. Because a lot of these people that are out here doing these heinous acts, a lot of times are on some form of medication, whether it's legal or illegal.
Mm-hmm.
So when you approach them, the last thing you want to do is approach them in a hostile manner with guns and weapons drawn. You need somebody who can, excuse me.
It depends on who you're addressing, though.
Okay.
That's the difference. That's the difference. Yeah.
It could be, but at least have somebody of that stature on scene to help assess the situation.
I agree with that totally.
You know what I'm saying? Because
I agree with that totally.
There was a scene, and I'm not sure if it was North Carolina somewhere, but there was a scene where I think the patient was a young white dude. And I don't know if he was autistic or some, I can't remember what it was. But the police were out there, they were all surrounding him, and the black orderly, I guess, came out there and was like, this man has whatever. I'm going to sit down here. I'm going to sit out here with him in the street. The brother in his scrubs sitting out there with the patient, talking to him. Why did the brother get shot in the behind? But see, that's what I'm saying. You need somebody of that skill set who is with the police to be like, put your guns down. I know what this situation needs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They've assessed it. And they're saying, this is how we need to handle it.
Okay, but hold on, Chad. Did you hear what you just said?
You said right?
No. You said the black orderly came out to assist the white patient. And the black orderly got shot.
Got shot in the behind. He sure did. While he was sitting down with the patient. It's not funny, but I'm just saying, what would make you do that?
Hold on. So they came to the scene with, I don't know what the situation was going on with the little white patient. I don't know. But you came for that reason. But the good black dude gets shot trying to de-escalate the situation. There it is in a nutshell. Even though we're trying to be a help and be a people of de-escalation, we still get shot.
I don't know if you remember this, but maybe a year or two ago, down here in Atlanta, in the northwestern suburb, there was a black man in an apartment complex, screaming and yelling and running around naked.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Remember that?
Yep.
Now, to me, that's a psych issue.
Yeah.
This man was not armed.
Mm-hmm.
Running around naked, hollering, screaming. He needs to be talked down.
Right.
He was shot to death.
Yeah.
He was shot to death. How can you fear for your life as an officer when you have a naked, unarmed man and you have a gun, a taser, billy club, handcuffs, mace, pepper spray? I don't understand.
Because we're not human to these people. We're not human. We are animals. We are cattle. We are whatever animal you want us to be. That's what they are. We are in the eyes of the police. I've watched videos, and it was a video on Twitter where it was like a 3-minute reel of white folk just blanking on the police, slapping them, kicking them, grabbing their hair, stabbing them. Not one of them shot. Not gun not pulled, taser not pulled, nothing. It was 3 minutes of white folk just beating up the cop, beating up the police. The one that kills me is the one where the dude beats up the police, then takes his car, takes the vehicle, the police vehicle, drives down the road, the police vehicle. While his mama's talking about, Billy, stop doing that. They gonna hurt you. They ain't thought about pulling out no gun. Ain't thought about pulling out no taser. And in the one scene, the woman grabbed the police officer by her hair and wouldn't let her go. It's like 4 or 5 cops wrestling with this woman to get her off the female cop. And the female cop at one point, she just says, just cut my hair off. What? Just cut my hair off so she'll let my hair go. Are you kidding me? So that's the difference. The difference is we are not human to police. We are expendable. Our black bodies are expendable to the police. Why? First, because we're animals to them. Second, because if they do shoot us, there's no repercussions. There's no accountability.
So you said a word right there. You said that again. There's no what?
There's no accountability.
Right.
So they can shoot us dead in the street, and guess what? Go on about their day. And while the media and everybody else dig to see what the black person did in their past life that was wrong when they was 3 years old. Yeah, they killed little Bobby, but Bobby stole a grape in the grocery store when he was 3. I mean, you see what I'm saying? That's what we have to deal with. So not only do the police kill us, after they kill us, they defame our character in public. So we're getting hit with a double whammy because they just can't kill us. And if they do kill us, it's always a backstory to the victim. The victim always has his mom and daddy got divorced when he was 8. What they got to do with anything? He dead. She dead. What they got to do with anything? I mean, it's just as black folk, man, we tired, and it hurts. It hurts every time we hear of the police killing us. It hurt. You don't understand. People don't understand how it hurts black folk. How it hurts us, because guess what? We're never going to trust the police. I don't care what they do. They can be as transparent as possible. We're not going to trust them because they're going to, first of all, they're going to do, if they do kill us, they're going to do everything in their power to cover up what they did wrong. Second of all, if they do kill us, they're going to denigrate our character.
That's first and foremost.
That's first and foremost, Chad. It's always flipped on the victim, unless they're white.
Then it was they have mental troubles, or they were having a bad, like the white boy down here in Atlanta that shot up all those Asians in that Asian community strip mall area, and and there was a couple of white folks too that he shot, but he was on his way to Florida to do it again.
Yeah.
And the cop in Georgia was like, well, you know, pretty sure he didn't mean to. He just had a bad day. Yo, he just murdered some people. And you talking about this man just had a bad day? A bad day is failing a test, or losing a job, or getting your car towed, or repossessed, not murdering people.
Now, can you imagine if the shoe was on the other foot and he was a black man?
Right.
What would have been told?
Back in 2002, he was arrested for possession, and then in 2010, you know, he was arrested for burgling, armed robbery, or whatever. What does that have to do with 2021 right now?
That has not that does not give you the reason to give anybody a death sentence.
That's right.
That's not your right. That's not your right as a police officer to give anybody a death sentence. But for whatever reason, you know, that's what they do on the norm with us. I mean, it's the norm. I mean, even when we do everything right. Philando Castile, prime example. I'm telling you right now, I'm a gun owner. I'm registered, and I have one in my car. I'm going to reach to show you my permits, and you shoot me after I told you what I have in the car. I'm a gun owner. I have a gun in my possession. I'm going to reach and show you my permits, my license, my registration, yada, yada, yada. And my thing to begin with, first of all, why were you even talking to him? He's in the passenger seat. Why are you even talking to him?
Right.
But you killed that man in front of his girlfriend and his baby. They don't care. They don't care about our black lives. They don't care about our black bodies. And like I said, I mean, the time is out for giving grace to these men and women. That time is gone. You get no grace. You've done too much to my people to get grace. Taser, 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 pow. It was my gun. My bad. My bad. I ain't mean to shoot him. My bad.
And you a training cop.
My bad. I ain't mean to shoot him. Again, like we said before, a couple podcasts back, that was your opportunity. You've been itching to kill a black man, woman, or child, and you got your opportunity, and you seized the moment. It's sad, Chad. It's sad, man. I mean, you know, I'm tired of talking about this. Hopefully next week, when we on here, we won't have to talk about this no more. Maybe something good will happen.
I'm hoping so, man.
I'm hoping so that we can move on from this. But until this has to be talked about, until something changes, until something changes to the treatment of my people, something has to give, man.
That George Floyd bill that they got in Congress needs to pass. Biden needs to sign it. He needs to sign it. That's a start. Because in that bill, to my knowledge, it has something to do with, you know, if a cop has something like this, it's on his record and it follows him. So should he go somewhere else, this will still be on his record.
What does that mean?
And there's a database.
What does that mean? That means if you're not putting these cats in jail, who cares? If you're not holding them accountable, who cares if it's on his record? He's going to get a job at the next county. It's funny, and I don't agree with a lot of everything that Dr. Umar Johnson says, but he was on the Breakfast Club the other morning, And he said something that, and you brought up Joe Biden, that was very stark and very honest
I've seen
and
some of that
truthful.
too.
When he said, it's funny how everybody gets a executive order written for them.
Yep.
But black folk.
But us.
He said first day transgenders got an executive order of protection. The Asian community been going through hell for 1 year. They got an executive order for protection. We've been going through this since 1619. And this brother, I mean, he ain't thought about writing after all, how many people done died while he's been president, been shot by the police?
Mm-hmm.
Since he's been president, not one time has he said, I'm going to write an executive order for the protection of black people. Not one time. But you go out of your way to protect these other people and these other cultures. But you fail, and you see these police officers killing my people, but you fail to do anything about it as far as writing an executive order or even passing any kind of legislation or trying to, or even push, I mean, because I know he can't pass it, but even pushing the House and the Senate to push some type of legislation. It boggles my mind, man, that if it wasn't for black folk, you are not in office.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not for Jim Clyburn in South Carolina, you're not even in the running.
Right. He gave him new life.
Exactly. If it's not for Jim Clyburn in South Carolina, you're not even in the position you're in.
And then you sat up there and told us on major TV that you owe us.
Yeah.
But we coming to collect.
Exactly. Haven't seen anything written out yet. Nothing. I mean, the time for lip service is over. The time for lip service is over. And police need to be held accountable. They need to be held accountable for their actions.
I agree.
Against the black man, woman, and child.
Mm-hmm.
Brutalizing our bodies, killing our people. You must be held accountable. The days of black folk just, turning the other cheek and looking the other way. Nah, B. Those days are over, man. Those days are over. These police officers need to be held accountable. It's just that simple. And you need to do something to incentivize these dudes and ladies not to do what they do. Take their pensions. Take their licenses to be police officers. Get rid of qualified immunity.
Make them live in the hood where they patrol.
Yeah, I mean it's just, I mean, defund these guys. Take their money to the point where they can't buy militarized vehicles and AK-47s and assault style weapons. And for what? What do you need that for? If you're in tune with the community that you police, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, there's no need to have weapons of mass destruction in a neighborhood
at all. But I mean, it is what it is right now, and things have to change. It has to change, Chad, because this is not going to end well. It's not going to end well. Elizabeth City right now is a powder keg. Yeah, it only needs one spark in Elizabeth City for that whole thing to blow up. It's so tense. It's so tense right now. And one more thing. Another thing I don't understand. How does this work? A police officer kills a black person. The city immediately goes on curfew because you don't want black people protesting because one of your officers killed somebody black. What? That don't even, what? How about you worry about your police officers? The people gonna be okay. That is so strange to me that a city goes on lockdown after a police officer does something wrong.
They don't want no riots to kick off. They don't want nobody there. They don't want them black folks tearing up nothing.
Man, listen. You more concerned about, and that's another thing. You concerned more about property than black
I was
bodies.
about to say, their job is to protect property, not people.
Yeah, not black people anyway. So again,
them business owners and all them fancy homeowners got the city council quick. Better shut it down.
mm-hmm,
Don't have them come over here tearing up our stuff.
mm-hmm. But it's just something has to be done with the police. Something has to be done, and again, we're at a tipping point. We're at a tipping point with the police. We're at a tipping point,
and that's nationwide.
Exactly. Yeah, that's not only my neighborhood, your neighborhood. That's every black neighborhood. We at a tipping point. So I mean, something has to give, and I hope it's really soon. I hope it's really soon.
I do too. Mm-mm. I'm all out, my brother.
Hey, I'm telling you, like I said, hopefully we'll have something else better to talk about next week. But until things change, hey, we have to keep talking about it. It has to keep being discussed, because, like I said, somebody has to be held accountable, and things have to change when it comes to the police in our community and the police and our people.
Have to go.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's been going on far too long.
It has to go.
Far too long.
Has to go. Got to go. All right, Mr. Hunt. So look, check it. You got a book of the week for the folks?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna go on a lighter note, but a very important note this week with the book of the week. We're gonna go with the Jackie Robinson biography, written by Arnold Represand. The Jackie Robinson biography, great biography about Jackie Robinson, the man, who he really was outside of breaking the color barrier in baseball, because he was way more than a baseball player. I mean, he did some things. If you read this book, you're going to find out some things about Jackie Robinson you never knew. You never knew about this guy, because baseball that's the focus, that he broke the color barrier, and he was the first black man, yada yada yada, Major League Baseball, this, that, and the third.
He never stood for the anthem either, did he?
No.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give away nothing in the book, so
I'm sorry.
No, you good. But no, I mean, that's a good point. That's a good point. He never did, and he has his reasons why. He tells his reasons why he didn't stand for the anthem. So again, the Jackie Robinson, a biography by Arnold Represand. And again, fantastic book, great book to read. It really delves into the man, who Jackie Robinson really was as a man. And this author was commissioned by Jackie Robinson's wife. She commissioned him to write his biography.
So we know it's authentic.
Yeah. So we know it's authentic. So again, go check this book out. A great read. Gives you really in-depth information about who Jackie Robinson is. Man, he was a trailblazer, man. When you read this book, you're going to understand that he was more than a trailblazer in the game of baseball. Yeah, he is an extremely important figure, and not only in the game of baseball, but America in general as a country.
There you have it, folks. Jackie Robinson autobiography. So please go check it out. Enlighten yourself, because knowledge is power. And I'm pretty sure there's some gems in that book that,
yes, it is,
not only just about Jackie, but that can help us as a people too. Because I'm pretty sure he's witnessed and has had to endure some things that,
oh man,
we probably are going through now, but maybe in a different aspect. But still, having that knowledge. Yeah, that understanding could help out quite a bit. So, I'm going to leave you guys with a Bible verse for the day, and it's from 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 21, and it reads, "For God made Christ, who never sinned, to be the offering for our sin, so that we could be made right with God through Christ." So that's your Bible verse for the week. Meditate on that. Think about it, and let's keep prayers going up for this nation and this planet. This whole world is sick, and it it needs a healing. Like the old folks says, we need a revival. You know, we need the Lord to come through. They had this old song they used to sing, "Come by here, good Lord, come by here." And I remember that as a kid in church, and it never hurts to sing that. Come by here, you know, come see about us. You know, we going through some things, and I know we're never alone, but it never hurts to reach out in prayer.
Yeah,
to just talk to the Lord and let him know. You know, it's hey, we need some guidance, we need some support, we need some help. You know, we need something because it's getting crazy down here. But he's in control. I firmly believe that with all my heart. He sits high and looks low, and I guarantee you, some things are gonna happen. It's just we gotta be patient. We gotta be patient. There's a divine order that is going on, and we are not privy to a lot of the things that are going on, but it doesn't mean it's not happening. It's not changing. So we just have to continue to stay the course. But I want to thank all of our viewers and listeners for checking in today and listening and watching the podcast. Again, if you've got anything, any comments, criticisms, or questions, please email us at ourvoice360@gmail.com. ourvoice360@gmail.com. All right, Pete, anything else for we?
Yeah. Also, like and subscribe. You know, that's how we get our numbers up. Yeah. Like and subscribe. We're on. We have the Our Voice 360 YouTube channel. We're on Spotify. We're on Podomatic. We're on iTunes. We're on Google Podcasts. So anywhere you can stream, hey, we're on that platform. So go check us out, man. Like, subscribe. That helps us out tremendously, and we appreciate you. And we appreciate you, and we thank you in advance for what you're going to do for us. So we just want to say that. And before you close out, Chad, to all my black folk, love your people, man.
Yeah.
Hold on to them tight. Love on your people, because you never know. You never know. Tomorrow's not promised, man. And you know, you would hate to for somebody to leave this earth, or for you to leave this earth without being in touch with your people and loving on your people, man.
Indeed. All right, folks. Well, take care. Be blessed. And we're out.
Peace.
If you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you can be notified when a new show drops. Please rate and review this podcast and share it with your friends. Also, if you'd like to advertise or become a sponsor, please send an email to ourvoice360@gmail.com with your inquiry. We'll connect with you as soon as possible in hopes of creating a great partnership. And as always, thank you for tuning in to Our Voice 360. Our perspectives, our way, keeping you in the know while you're on the go. See you next week.